has authority. And there are three kinds of authorities in life, in the society. One is authority by knowledge. So your teachers and professors have authority over you because they know more. They probably are the meanest person in the world, but they know more. And so you submit to them because they can teach you. That's authority by knowledge. The second one is authority by office. And police officers and the judge. Right? This morning I saw some police officer pull off the car and who was, I don't know what happened. That officer may not be a better person than you are, but you submit to that authority because he holds that office of reinforcing the law. And the third kind of authority comes from life. That's authority in church. And church should never be a place where the wealthy or knowledgeable or the elite take charge. It should be the people who have life, who embody Christ, who spread life, who spread Christ. You see, church is in the business of transforming life. And if you want to serve church, you need to have that life. And also kind of invite all the people and to kind of to provide accountability to us. If you see any of the deacons who did not serve with life and with words only and with other things, you should just point that out to us to say, hey, you are not serving with your life. And then we welcome those kind of feedbacks because we need those kind of accountability. And so that's the topic we're going to continue to kind of unpack in 2 weeks. And stay tuned on this topic on life. The other fundamental difference, Christ differs from other kings. Jesus governs by love, whereas the government governs by other kings, governed by laws and rules. And Scripture says God is love. And Jesus loved me to the point He willingly died for you and me on the cross. He tasted death so that you and I can taste life. But that cannot contain Him. He resurrected so that our life can be full. Christ governed His kingdom by love. And let me just illustrate here. So you know that our government spending, 80% of our government spending are on reinforcing some kind of regulations or laws or rules, right? If you look at our legislative branch, our executive branch, and our judicial branch is all to reinforce this law and regulation. Nothing else, right? So that the country can be run orderly. But in heaven, Christ governs by love. It's not like there's no rule. There are rules. But the citizen of heaven abide to the rules, not being afraid of the consequences of punishment. We, citizens of heaven, abide to the rules because we don't want to break the heart of Christ. And we obey the law because we don't want to make Christ sad. And it may be hard for you to understand how this love has such amazing power to make somebody obey the rule. Let me just use one example, and maybe perhaps you can find some relevance to your life. I was not a good person when I was a kid. And when I was a kid, and I excelled academically, and I did pretty well in school and stuff. But my character was flawed, and I shared with you previously that I cheated in exams so to get a perfect A or stuff. And in addition to that, also stole stuff without paying. That means, and sometimes because I wanted those stuff, and I don't have the money, and sometimes I just stole for the thrill. And since I became Christian, I not only stopped stealing, which is good, and I also try not to take the share that don't belong to me, be it in the company or other places. So I think I shared it with you last time that in the grocery store, once the clerk charged me 1 yogurt for 10 yogurts. And so I went back to pay for the 9 yogurts. Not because I'm afraid that I will get caught and look bad, but I know that if Christ saw me doing this, because he sees everything, and he will be saddened by the fact I would keep these 9 yogurts without paying. It's not because I can be caught. I'm already out of the store, right? But I felt if I break Christ's heart just because it's 9 yogurt, that's not worth it. So I went back and paid for this 9 yogurts. You see, the heavens we are heading to starts today. You are in heaven now if you choose to. And if you knowingly do what you know you should not do, and you know that it will break Christ's heart, and you look at the things that you know that you should not look at, you listen to the stuff that you know that you should not listen, nobody may ever catch you. Nobody may have caught you, ever. But it breaks the heart of Christ. You see, all the rules and regulation has flaws, have loopholes. You can always find ways to get by the laws and the rules, but you cannot get around love. If you truly love Christ, you will knowingly obey, you just willingly obey the rules and the laws set forth in the scripture. And you stop doing things that you know that you should not do. This is this is probably the most powerful force in the universe, this love. And the third one, so every kingdom have this military, right? And in the worldly king, they fight for their own interest or the country's interest. But in heaven, Christ fight to uphold justice and the righteousness, not just in anybody's side, in God's side. So ever since the Israelites were called out of Egypt, ever since that moment, they are called army of God. And so in Exodus 12, it says, at the end of 430 years in Egypt, all the Lord's army or divisions left Egypt. And imagine that scene. There are just a bunch of farmers and construction workers who make brick as a living. But they are called the army of God. Even though you don't feel you are a soldier, even though you wear civilian clothes, but you are born to fight. So this fighting is not like we pick a stranger in the street and ask whether they are Christians. If they are not Christians, we will fight them. No, it's not like that. And we ask to be gentle with people. And Ed just finished the series of the armor of God. And Ephesians talk about Our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the power of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil. How do we fight and then keep the justice and the righteousness? It's by praying. Prayer do amazing things. So this congregation has grown a lot since just 1.5 years ago. It has gone from a loose group to a really close group, and you find friends, and you find love and support here. And those things do not happen automatically. So 1.5 years ago, we started our Wednesday prayer meeting at Kevin, Guowei, Elder Ye, and Wu Wei, June, and I. We gathered to pray for every single one of you and ask for Lord's protection. And we name your name. And we believe this praying is the driving force to build a church, to uphold the justice and righteousness. We have been changed. I can see you have been changed. And it's all because God's mercy through our prayer. But it's not enough. There's much to be desired. And we have yet to become a church that you will feel comfortable to bring your friends in every Sunday. We're yet to become a church that we bring gospel to people's the doorsteps. And so we fight on our knees, and we stand up in our daily life for our faith. And in this coming month, we are going to start a new thing, which is a prayer meeting with teens praying. So we are going to start this new schedule of prayer meeting on Fridays. So on Friday we'll have a worship together, and then we divide into teens praying and adults praying. And we want to make you feel that part of this praying team. We want you to experience the power of prayer. You see, only in prayer do we expose our spiritual weakness to the Lord. You actually expose your spiritual weakness to a lot of people. But only in prayer do we expose our spiritual weakness to the Lord, and let the Lord heal you and strengthen you. Only in prayer can we be truly healed, and only in prayer can we be truly transformed, like the avatar, right? And so, in summary, and I want you to remember 3 words that describe Christ and should describe you. The first one is life. The second one is love. The third one is justice or praise. The Samaritan woman, after she encounters Christ, she went back to her village and brought many to Christ. And the villagers then say, okay, and Christ, can you stay in our village for 2 more days? And then Christ stayed. Many believed. And many were saying that before I only heard that other people tell me, but now I heard Christ firsthand. So I believe. How about you? You are a citizen of heaven. Did you tell people about Christ, the amazing things that He has told you? As we start this new school year, and some are going to college, going to your school and college, bringing life, love, and justice wherever you go. like the 2 Corinthians encourage us, we are therefore ambassadors of Christ. So not only we are a dwelling citizen of heaven, but we are sent with a mission. Ambassadors are the people who are sent to foreign countries to represent that country. So we are the citizens of heaven. We are sent to this world to represent heaven. And this heaven can be summarized by 3 words: life, love, and justice. Okay, and I'm going to stop here. I think Ed has a kind of a standing prayer and to really kind of commission you to go to this new school year, going to wherever you find yourself in on Monday. Be the ambassador of Christ.